Welcome back to the Crypto World channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Bitcoin is coming into contact with an important level on the chart just here for two major reasons. Also, in this video, I will be covering a major divergence in the US dollar index, which is actually good news for Bitcoin moving forward. I'll be explaining this later in the video. And of course, I will be covering the B-word conference and the key points that we could take away from that discussion between Elon Musk, Cathie and Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter. And if that sounds good to you, before we jump into it, make sure to leave a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on for more videos like this one. But with that out of the way, let's get straight to what this video is about. So right here, we're on the Bitcoin US dollar chart on the 4-hour time frame. And of course, over the past couple of weeks, Bitcoin, technically speaking, has been in this downtrend. Now, we did actually see this dip below this trend line, the bottom of this downtrend just here. But relatively speaking, we didn't really see any major volume just here. The volume wasn't really picked up at all. And of course, as I covered on the channel yesterday, this right here was likely to be market manipulation because once again, there was a lot of whale action in terms of short positions opening during this move here and a lot of short positions closing during this move just here. And then also this pump to the upside that we've seen over the past 1 day or so has also likely been caused by the B-word conference, which once again, I will be covering in just a moment. But yeah, right now, this level right here, the exact level that Bitcoin actually wicked up to is actually a really important level in the immediate short term for Bitcoin to get above. If Bitcoin can start getting a confirmed break above that level, that will actually be really bullish for Bitcoin in the short term. But once again, anytime we break an important level on the chart, we need to see confirmation. And by the way, this level just here is coming in at around 32.8K. Now, of course, this is a descending line, so it's changing lower over time. So right now, it's actually coming in closer to 32.6K, as you can see just there. And also, the other reason why this level is also important for Bitcoin is drawing out the Fibonacci retracement tool just here. As you can see, that level is the golden pocket, the 61.8% Fibonacci level. Once again, at around 32.6, 32.7K, in around those prices just there is the golden pocket. So if we can start breaking above that level just there with confirmation, so either a spike in volume or surge in volume or a retest of that level to the upside, for as long as we can hold above those levels, I would actually expect Bitcoin to continue up to this level just here as our next point of resistance. This is coming in at around 34.5K. Once again, we could possibly see some resistance for Bitcoin at that level, considering the fact that we have found resistance previously at that same level just there, as you can see. But yeah, if we start shooting past 34,500, then our next point of resistance is at around 36,500 US dollars. Once again, that has been major resistance for Bitcoin previously. And in fact, if you were on the channel back at this time just here, we were expecting resistance at that level just there before we found resistance, because of course that was the golden pocket, the golden retracement for that level just there. So those are the next points of resistance for Bitcoin to the upside that I will be paying attention to in the short term here. If we can break, of course, this immediate resistance just here at around 32.8K approximately, the top of this area. Now, of course, if Bitcoin continues to find resistance along that level, eventually we will see a rejection if we do not break above that level sometime soon, as in over the next couple of days. And if this does continue as resistance and we see another rejection along this level, I do actually expect the Bitcoin price to come back down to at least 31,000 US dollars, but possibly closer towards 30,000 US dollars as our next major level of support. This entire range just here from around 30 to 31,000 US dollars, that whole area just there is very strong support for Bitcoin. Every single time we've entered into that little range just there around 30 to 31,000 over the past couple months, the Bitcoin price has quickly been bought up out of that price range every single time we've entered that price range over the past couple months once again. So there are actually a lot of buyers at around 30,000 US dollars. So those are basically all of the important levels that I will be paying attention to for Bitcoin in the short term. They are my price targets, depending on, of course, if we break resistance just here or break support. The moment we break one of those specific levels just there, that is going to determine the next short-term trend for Bitcoin over the next few days, possibly over the next few weeks. Now, talking about the B-word conference that did actually occur over the past 24 hours, this was actually now closer towards 1 day ago than it is to this video. So a lot of you might already know about this, but I will cover it in this video because it is important to mention. This was basically a video conference between Elon Musk, Jack Dorsey, and Cathie. Pretty much all of you would probably know who Elon Musk is at this point. And Jack Dorsey, by the way, is the CEO of Twitter and Square, and Cathie is the CEO of ARK Invest. So all three of them are pretty big names, especially in the crypto world. And a couple of the key points that we can take away from that video conference. Well, first of all, Elon Musk officially disclosed for the first time that space SpaceX, one of his other companies, a private company, officially holds Bitcoin. That's right, he hasn't just bought into Bitcoin using Tesla, he's also bought into Bitcoin using his SpaceX company, which once again is a private company. They're looking to go public in the future. Obviously, there's no, time frame, there's no date on when they want to go public, but Elon Musk has mentioned that he wants to take SpaceX public eventually. And so the fact that SpaceX also holds Bitcoin on their balance sheet is actually another bullish sign for Bitcoin, because obviously they would not be holding Bitcoin if they weren't bullish on Bitcoin longer term. Another key point that we can take away from the conference, another important point actually, is the fact that Elon Musk in his own personal portfolio, not talking about Tesla or SpaceX, but Elon Musk himself, he of course holds Bitcoin himself, but he also disclosed that he holds Ethereum and Dogecoin. Now, it's pretty obvious that he was holding some Dogecoin at this point, considering what he was doing to the Dogecoin price at the beginning of this year. But the big one out of those three is the fact that he holds Ethereum, and he's actually bullish on the entire DeFi space. He finds that very interesting. And as I've mentioned multiple times on this YouTube channel, I am actually really bullish on Ethereum longer term as well, because seriously, there is so much potential in Ethereum with DeFi and smart contracts and all of that side of the crypto world. But he did also make it clear that out of those three, out of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin in his personal holdings, by far the most significant portion of that portfolio just there is actually Bitcoin. He holds far more Bitcoin than he does with Ethereum and Dogecoin. And Elon Musk did also mention that he is a pumper, not a dumper, referring to obviously the massive move in Dogecoin, of course, moving to the upside towards the beginning of this year, but more recently to the downside. And if you were in the crypto space from the beginning of this year, you would know by now that, Elon Musk was pumping the hell out of Dogecoin. But once again, he confirmed that he has actually not sold any. He has not dumped on the market. And of course, Tesla is still holding that $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. So you really have to be paying attention to what they are doing, not what they are saying. And finally, one of the last key points to take away from that video conference is the fact that Elon Musk mentioned that Tesla will likely to resume Bitcoin payments moving forward for Tesla vehicles. For a brief period of time earlier this year, Tesla was actually accepting Bitcoin as a payment option for buying Tesla vehicles, but it was right before we had this major market crash a couple months ago that Elon Musk announced that Tesla is actually going to stop their Bitcoin payments due to unsustainable energy usage by miners and the fact that Bitcoin mining is not environmentally friendly. Now, since then, this has been debunked multiple times. Of course, Bitcoin mining does use electricity, but nowhere near as much electricity as the traditional financial system. And also, Bitcoin mining does actually incentivize sustainable energy, because obviously, if you can run a Bitcoin miner from a solar panel that's costing you nothing compared to paying for electricity off the grid that is coming from a power plant, of course, the Bitcoin miner is going to go for the cheaper electricity, the sustainable electricity. And so that's why Elon Musk did mention that they're likely to resume Bitcoin payments for Tesla moving forward, but they are going to be doing more due diligence on Bitcoin mining and how much of the electricity going into Bitcoin mining is actually sustainable energy. But you'd think that Tesla would have done a bit of due diligence before they actually bought over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. To me, that doesn't really seem right. A multi-billion-dollar corporation buying billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin and not even doing any due diligence before buying over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. Once again, just for me, that doesn't make too much sense. But anyway, this is actually overall bullish for Bitcoin in the longer term. Now, once again, this little spike in the price just here could have been due to the fact that we had that conference for Bitcoin, which was a net positive for Bitcoin. But yeah, overall, this was good news for Bitcoin moving forward. And once again, that's always why I say keep a long-term perspective, because these big players are still entering into the markets. All right, now right here, this is the DXY, the US dollar index chart. This is on the 1 week chart. So for the beginners out there, this pretty much just shows the strength of the US dollar, if you want to think of it like that. Basically, when this is going to the upside, the US dollar is becoming more valuable. It is becoming stronger. And if this is going to the downside, then obviously that is not too good for the US dollar. But of course, if this is going to the downside, anything that is paired against the US dollar is going up in value. So for example, this entire time period just here at the peak just here, that was in around March, April 2020. And this bottom just here, that was in around the beginning of May this year. So once again, during that entire time period just there where the US dollar was going to the downside, Bitcoin valued against the US dollar was shooting to the upside. So this right here is pretty much inversely correlated to the Bitcoin chart, the Bitcoin US dollar chart. And right now we are fighting resistance here on the weekly time frame. And of course, if we can get a rejection along this level, that is good for Bitcoin. But keep in mind that this could potentially be seen as a massive inverse head and shoulders pattern, which technically speaking is a bullish pattern, but it is not confirmed until we break the neckline just here. Now, of course, there's many different factors that actually impact this chart just here. One of the biggest factors being obviously the Federal Reserve printing money and also lowering interest rates as well. This chart just here, we are running into resistance right now because at the moment on the daily time frame, if you're bringing out the RSI on the daily time frame once again for the US dollar index, as you can see just here, we are seeing a massive divergence on the daily time frame between the DXY and the RSI just here. As you can see, we are seeing multiple higher highs and also multiple higher lows, while in the RSI we are seeing lower highs and lower lows. Now, if you're looking at the lows, technically speaking, that there is a hidden bullish divergence, but more importantly, we have multiple regular bearish divergence, which once again, traditional divergences are stronger than hidden divergences. So the fact that we have multiple bearish divergences forming on the daily time frame for the DXY chart, this here actually shows us that we are likely to start topping out here, and we are likely to experience at least some more sideways price action, if not slightly to the downside. And also, as you can see here, we are potentially forming a rising wedge pattern for the US dollar index, as you can see just here once again, and a rising wedge pattern just here, that is a bearish pattern. So technically speaking, it's more likely to break to the downside. It's not impossible for it to break to the upside, but yeah, if we break to the downside, the price target in this case is coming in at around 91.5 at the bottom of the wedge, and the DXY breaking down here could actually signal another major move to the upside in the Bitcoin to US dollar value. So this is also what I'm keeping an eye on moving forward on the charts. But anyway, that's really everything I have to say for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you got something valuable out of this video that you could take away and help make yourself some money in the crypto markets, because that's really my goal with these videos. And if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video down below. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on for more videos like this one. And also, if you're liking these videos every single day on the channel, be sure to share these videos around with your friends, because right now we are entering into an amazing opportunity to get into crypto. It is actually a really important time to remain active in the markets while a lot of newer investors are leaving the markets. But anyway, that's really everything I have to say for this video. Once again, I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next video.